It began in a kitchen full of stress, a place where laughter once filled the air, but now every sound felt sharp. My sister Vanessa was across from me, her face red and her hands balled into fists. Her voice was higher than usual with pure anger. "I told you not to touch my things," she screamed, pushing a chair out of her way. "I didn't," I argued, holding the glass of water I had come to get, which was the only thing I had touched. "I don't even go in your room." That didn't stop her. She ran across the kitchen, and before I could understand what was happening, she slammed me against the fridge. Her elbow pressed into my ribs, hard and fast. I felt something snap. My knees gave out and I dropped the glass. It broke into pieces, just like my own sense of shock. I gasped for air, holding my side as pain crawled up my back like stinging. "Aunt's mom," I screamed. "She hurt me. Something's wrong. I can't." But from the living room, a slow, lazy voice answered, "Oh honey, not again." I looked toward the hallway, hoping to see some worry, but Mom didn't even stand up from the couch. She didn't ask what happened, didn't look at my face, which was twisted in pain. Instead, she sighed and rolled her eyes as if I was just a bother. She didn't mean it. "Don't be so dramatic," Mom mumbled, brushing popcorn crumbs from her shirt. "And don't even think about calling the cops. That will go on her record, and she's still looking for jobs." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was 23 years old, working part-time and studying, trying to leave this bad house. Vanessa was 25, had no job, was always angry, and was apparently not subject to the law because she was the favorite child. When I told them I thought my rib was broken, Mom laughed and said, "It's probably just bruised. Take a Tylenol and stop ruining the evening." I lay on my bed that night, finding it hard to breathe, holding my phone. I wanted to call for help, but I didn't have health insurance since they cut me off when I turned 18. I also had no savings, because every penny I made had been borrowed or really stolen by Mom for groceries that somehow always turned into Vanessa's eyelash extensions or weekend drinking. The next morning, I woke up and found Vanessa in the kitchen again, humming. She showed no regret, no guilt. She actually smiled a little when she saw me breathing with difficulty. "You always bruise so easily," she said with a laugh, drinking the orange juice that I had bought. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something too, but I didn't. Instead, I sat quietly and made a plan because I remembered something important. Vanessa had put me down my whole life, stolen from my friends, taken my birthday money, and even told a college boyfriend that I had cheated just so she could have him. But now she had something to lose, a future she was trying so hard to build, and I had something better. Proof. I limped to the bathroom, locked the door, and lifted my shirt. The bruise was already dark yellow around the edges, with red and purple in the middle. I recorded everything. The bruises, the swelling, the way I gasped when I moved. I also recorded Mom's voice from the night before. "Don't call the cops. It'll ruin her job hunt." I made backup copies and emailed them to myself. I didn't know what I would do with them yet, but something inside me had broken, just like that rib. I wasn't going to protect her anymore. I wasn't going to be quiet while they used me as the family's punching bag, both in a real and emotional way. They had spent years creating this story. Vanessa, the beautiful, misunderstood girl, just trying to get her life on track, and me, the burden. The one who overreacts, the drama queen. Not anymore. Not after what she did, and not after what I was about to do next. 3 days went by. I didn't say a word to Vanessa. I didn't eat dinner with them. I didn't even react when Mom made her usual sarcastic comments, like still feeling sorry for yourself, huh? Or Vanessa has a job interview tomorrow. Don't bring your drama into it. Every time they spoke, they were just adding more fuel to a fire they didn't know was burning right under them. I went to the local urgent care by myself, walking with short, painful breaths. The doctor confirmed what I already knew, a broken rib. He looked at me funny when I said I had fallen, but I didn't need him to feel sorry for me. I just needed the official papers. I paid with a credit card I had borrowed, since mine had been maxed out for years because of the family emergencies my mom always needed help with. When I got home, Vanessa was bragging about her upcoming job interview. It was at a big publishing company in the city. "They're looking for someone new, someone real," she said, playing with her hair and smiling like she hadn't just broken a bone in my body. I watched her and I waited. The night before her interview, she left her laptop open on the dining room table. I saw her resume and her references. One name stood out to me, Ms. Carmichael, her old professor, the one I knew she had publicly insulted on Twitter 2 years ago for failing her in a class. I took a picture of the screen, I took a deep breath, then I did something I never thought I would do. I made a phone call to the company, to their human resources department. And I didn't lie, not even once. I told them who I was. I told them what had happened. I sent the photos. I sent the recording of my mother saying, "Don't call the cops, it'll ruin her job hunt." I sent the medical report, and I finished by saying, "This is the kind of person you're thinking about having represent your company." I didn't get a response right away, but I knew they had received the message. The next morning, Vanessa left the house, wearing a new blazer. And my stolen necklace, the one my grandma left me, which Mom had said Vanessa should have because she'll wear it more, she came back by noon, her face looking like it was melting with confusion, hurt, and anger. She threw her purse across the living room and screamed, "Someone ruined it for me." I stayed quiet in the hallway, just listening. "They knew about everything," she cried. "They said they got an anonymous file that accused me of assault and fraud, and that it came with proof." Mom was horrified, not by what Vanessa had done, but that someone had dared to expose it. "Who would do that to you, sweetie?" she asked, rubbing her back. Vanessa's eyes looked around the room, then they landed on me. "You," she hissed. I tilted my head. Funny how the truth always finds its way out. Huh. That night, everything exploded. Vanessa threw a plate. Mom screamed. I locked my door and smiled, because this was just the beginning of everything falling apart. The next day, Vanessa got an email. She was permanently banned from their hiring list. The HR team had also contacted her old college and filed a complaint. About her fake resume? I knew she had lied about her internship hours, and I knew exactly how to prove it. Meanwhile, I started gathering every receipt, every bank transfer, every email where Mom had borrowed money. I sent it all to a legal aid group I'd found online. It turns out that family theft is still theft, and financial abuse is a whole other case. They offered to help me press charges. I didn't say a word to my parents that week, not until the day I left. I packed my bag, printed the medical report, and left a copy on the kitchen counter. With it, I placed the eviction notice. They didn't know it yet, but I had taken over the lease. My grandpa had put the house in my name years ago as a backup. He never trusted Mom with anything except making excuses. And now, the inheritance he left me, the one Mom claimed had strangely disappeared, had been quietly growing in a trust. I used it to buy the house from under them. When they got home and saw the envelope with my name on the letterhead, my parents looked confused, then angry, then scared. "You can't do this," Mom said, her voice shaking for the first time in years. "I just did," I replied. "Don't worry, I gave you 30 days. Vanessa tried to lunge at me again, but I didn't flinch, because this time I had everything I needed, and I wasn't scared anymore. 30 days went by faster than I thought they would. Vanessa fell apart. She tried to apply for other jobs, but the news had spread. HR departments talk, especially in her field. It seemed nobody wanted a job candidate connected with assault, fake references, and a family cover-up. Every time she opened her email and found another rejection, she would scream, cry, and threaten to sue me. But she didn't, because deep down she knew it was all true. Mom and Dad tried to make me feel guilty first. It was the silent treatment. Then came the gaslighting. "You've always been dramatic. She didn't mean to hurt you, she just snapped." She was going through something. But not once, not a single time did they say the words I needed to hear. "We're sorry." Instead, Dad muttered, "This house was never supposed to be yours anyway." To which I smiled and replied, "Funny, the paperwork says otherwise." Vanessa had nowhere to go, and yet, instead of being humble, she stormed into my room the week before they had to move out, acting like I owed her a new start. "You're ruining everything for me," she snapped. "You're so obsessed with being the victim, you forgot how to be a sister." I stood calmly. Being your sister has meant bruises, silence, and pretending you're normal when you're not. I didn't forget how to be one. I just chose not to be abused for it anymore. She threw her coffee mug. It shattered inches from my face. I didn't flinch. I picked up the phone and said one word, "Police." She screamed again, but I didn't hear the words, only the panic. The truth was, this wasn't just about the fight. This wasn't just about the rib. This was years of being the backup, the one who was forgotten, the one who got blamed when the TV broke, when the phone bill wasn't paid, when money went missing. This was the story of my life, and for the first time I was writing the ending. The cops came. Vanessa locked herself in the bathroom crying. Mom begged me to make it all go away. "This will destroy her future," she pleaded. "You should have thought about her future the day you left me when I couldn't breathe." They were given one last extension of 48 hours. The day they left, they didn't even say goodbye. Vanessa stomped out with 2 garbage bags full of clothes and Mom's screams behind her. Dad didn't look at me. He looked at the floor like he couldn't face the daughter he had spent years ignoring. Once the house was silent, I stood in the middle of the hallway and listened to the quiet. No slammed doors, no mean comments, no Vanessa pretending she was untouchable, no Mom acting as a biased referee, just peace. A week later, I started fixing up the house. I painted over the holes, got rid of the old furniture, and scrubbed away the memories. Then I did something bold. I turned Vanessa's old room into an art studio. The one thing I was always told would never pay the bills. And then I opened my email and finally answered the offer I had turned down months ago. The full scholarship from the university I had put off. They wanted me back, and I went. Not with baggage, but with freedom. Months went by. My art became popular online. I started doing freelance work for companies Vanessa had once begged for an interview with. My professors supported me. My voice came back slowly at first, then all at once. One day, I got an anonymous message on LinkedIn. "Did you really ruin your sister's life just to get into school?" I smiled and typed back, "No, I rebuilt my own. She just got caught in the mess of what she destroyed." Then I logged off. The last I heard, Vanessa was living with a friend 2 cities away, jumping from job to job. My parents had moved in with an aunt who wasn't as easily manipulated by them. And every holiday, I spent it with people who actually asked me how I was doing, who knew how to love without causing bruises. And on my graduation day, the second time around, I didn't invite my family. But I did wear the necklace my grandma left me, and I whispered as I walked onto the stage. "This one's for every time I was told to stay quiet." The applause wasn't deafening. It didn't need to be, because this time, I was the one holding the pen, and the ending, it was finally mine.